1966. I bring to you a message of truth and freedom, for it is only the truth that can set us free from the bondages of war and propaganda, which we confuse as history. My name is Colonel Emmanuel Nwobosi. I am 80 years old. It is time to be bold. I am too old to lie. I am not afraid to die. It is time to tell you why we had to try. I am the last of the original coup plotters of January 15, 1966, with Major Chukwuma Kaduna Nzogu. I knew Nzogu well. We went to school together. We trained together. We trained at Sandhurst Military Academy, UK. We lived together. Nzogu was our first head of military intelligence and uncovered terrible plans to wreak havoc across the country. We organized a group of progressive military officers to carry out a coup on 15 January 1966 to stop a jihad and bring sanity to Nigeria, steeped in nepotism, corruption, and mass murders. The government of Tafawa Balewa, controlled by the Premier of Northern Nigeria, Ahmadu Bello, were using us in the army to repress the Middle Belt and Western Nigeria. Houses and cars were burnt. Thousands were killed. There were 9 of us that planned the January 15th revolution. Majors Nzogu, Anuforo, Ifeajuna, Ademoyega, Chukwuka, Okafor, Onwachukwu, and Obienu, and myself. However, 4 of us started it: Major Ifeajuna and Major Ademoyega in the south, and Major Nzogu and myself in the north. We then united as a single revolution. I am the last of the 4 original revolutionaries. None published the complete truth. Only me, Colonel Emmanuel Nwobosi, is alive today to tell the final truth, so that the lies will not triumph forever. They used us to repress the Middle Belt and the Yorubas. When we saw genocide, we began to disobey orders and swore to stop them. For instance, Major Chris Anoforo refused to release mass murderers caught with weapons and was court-martialed. He was replaced by Major Hassan Katsina, a northern Muslim willing to act. I was in Abeokuta, but refused to repress Yorubas. Instead, I opened our barracks as a safe place for them to run to. They told many lies about the January 15 boys to justify their genocide. But it is those of us that planned the revolution that they should have killed, not the 3 million innocent Biafrans that knew nothing. For years, I kept quiet, blaming myself and wondering whether at 27 I was too radical, that my actions led to the death of millions. Today, the same evil in 1966 is being unleashed. As I watch, my sense of guilt has vanished, because we were not the evil. We were trying to stop the evil. That evil is radical Islamism. I have decided to speak out and warn the world of the impending disaster if we do not stop it. Each time radical Muslims plan a jihad in their religious mission to conquer the world, they will fail. But in the attempt, thousands and even millions will die. That happened to us in Biafra. At this point, let me differentiate between peaceful, law-abiding Muslims and radical Muslims who want to kill others, to force their religion on them. The problem is that wherever peaceful Muslims are, there are some radical Muslims amongst them. That is why they began a jihad in 1966. That is why we had to stop it. That is why they killed millions of our people. That is why we declared Biafra. Because we are a peaceful people, and oil and water can never mix. My story is a warning to Nigerians. For years, I was prevented from speaking the truth by exile, prison, harassment, poverty, surveillance, and death threats held over many of the actors like Ojukwu, Zik, Awolowo, Ibiam, and the January 15 boys that survived. But as I watch today, many of the events that led to the revolution are happening again, like Boko Haram, Fulani militia, Niger Delta militants, Shiites, IPOB, and mass murders. Some people think we acted wrongly in carrying out the January 15th revolution, but they may not be fully aware of the realities then. We were trained by the British to be patriotic, to give the ultimate sacrifice for Nigeria, and to stop anyone acting against the nation. Instead of our leaders using us to defend Nigeria, they were using us to suppress the citizens. We decided to arrest them for their atrocities because no one was willing to act. Not Zik, the president, who was powerless, not Ironsi, the head of state of the army, who was a conservative. There were many reasons why we had to act. 1, to stop the killings in Yoruba land and the Middle Belt by NPC, the ruling party. 2, to stop the invasion of Yoruba land on 17 January 1966. 3, to correct the massive rigging of the 1964 elections. 4, to free Awolowo from prison and make him the Prime Minister. 5, to stop the terrible corruption, nepotism, and regionalism of the NPC, the ruling party. 5, to stop Ahmadu Bello's planned jihad. It was good that we acted to save the Yoruba and the Middle Belt people, and we thought that was enough to stop the jihad. We could not foresee that they will massively attack innocent Igbos. Blame those who decided to massacre our people for their evil. Today, we are fighting Buhari. He is killing Shiite Muslims and IPOB members. With the benefit of hindsight, we can see other ways of dealing with such evil. But for us in 1966, we just wanted to save the people from massacre. I wish to congratulate Nnamdi Kanu and IPOB for the good work they are doing to free our people from Nigeria and radical Islamism. Many of our people do not understand how vast IPOB is as an organization and the quality of the people that run it. On arrival in Israel, I started meeting high-quality professionals, and I was amazed. I don't know how IPOB united power professionals abroad, power traders at home, and ordinary people from market women to even riff-raff, all under one IPOB family, with worldwide radio and television. Every Igbo and Biafran should be proud of them. They are the strongest force we have today to achieve freedom for all Nigerians. No wonder they can take on the Nigerian government and win. However, it is money that makes things work. I shall donate 10% of all the profits of my new book to IPOB. It is my tithe to freedom. Tithing is God's tax to raise money for the government of the children of God. I urge you all to regularly do the same so we can have the resources to achieve our objectives. On this day of 15th January 2019, the anniversary of our revolution, I want to hand over to Nnamdi Kanu and IPOB the baton of the January 15 boys. To you, to complete the revolution we started. I am Ogene Obosi, a chief and elder of the Obosi people. I bring to you the blessings of the ancients. I fought for Biafra. I was wounded for Biafra. I shall die for Biafra. He said,
Eyewitnesses have told the BBC that 3 people were shot by men in a military van outside the State House in Umuahia, Abia State, southeast Nigeria. 2 people died and 1 was rushed to hospital. A curfew was declared in the state earlier this week following heightened tensions between the Nigerian army and the secessionist group, the Indigenous Peoples of Biafra. There have been reports of clashes in the southeastern state of Abia, with the movement accusing the Nigerian military of killing several of its members and surrounding the home of its leader, Nnamdi Kanu. Well, Ifeanyi Ejiofor is Mr. Kanu's lawyer. He told the BBC he believes the military are out to kill his client.
The fact is that I'm not even seeing what they are doing in my house an attempt to arrest him. I get him. It's not an attempt to arrest him. It is a clear mission to eliminate him. It is not an attempt to arrest him.
To kill him?
Yes, that is what they are doing. Because tell me what they are doing in his room, shooting in the room, and also in the parlor. Tell me what military is doing there. This is a matter in court. He comes to court. As I speak to you, I have found action against the federal government and also the military in the federal court of Maya. We have evidence. We have evidence. As I speak to you, we have evidence. We have a video clip. We have the photographs of the activity.
Well, Brigadier General Sani Usman is spokesman of the Nigerian army. On the line to our Abuja studio, I asked him why they had invaded Mr. Kanu's compound.
It's that assertion is not correct. Nobody invade anybody's compound. Possibly you are referring to the misunderstanding when our troops were passing by. Some group of miscreants pelted them with stones and sticks to the point that a female passerby was wounded, and one of our soldiers, Corporal Kolawole Machu, was also wounded. But beyond that, there was no such thing like invading anybody's private property, let alone Nnamdi Kanu's personal residence or his family.
So,
compound.
General, what was the military doing around his house?
It is not around his house. You have to be familiar with Umuahia town to know where the military was. And the truth is that there are a lot of misinformation and propaganda ongoing. But what happened that day, it was just a misunderstanding between some group of miscreants and the soldiers that were passing by. And it was solved immediately. There was no such thing at all.
Well, they're saying that some of the IPOB supporters were killed. But even if you say this did not happen around Mr. Kanu's house, surely the military should recognize how sensitive things in the area are now and shouldn't be carrying out a show of force around there.
What I want you to understand is that the exercise we are about embarking on Friday has been slated since last year, and we have carried similar exercise last year, and we also carried similar exercise in some parts of the country, the essence of which is just to sharpen the skills of our troops in internal security operations. And it is going on simultaneously in 5 southeastern states, including Cross River State. I see no reason why the one in Abia State should be blown out of proportion. And there is no single incident whatsoever in other states.
So what about these pictures that are making the rounds on social media? We see young boys being beaten by men dressed in military fatigues. Some people look to have been, as if they've been shot. Are you saying that these pictures are being staged? If yes, by whom?
One thing I want to make clear is that there were a lot of, insinuations and mischievous propaganda going on. The video in question you are talking about, there was an allegation of some soldiers humiliating or maltreating some people that we suspect members of independence people of Biafra. And that issue is being investigated. So far, I'm sure 82 Division has even made some arrests. The whole essence of it is to, discredit the army.
But General, I mean, with all due respect, it's not just the IPOB members who are accusing the military. I mean, early this year, Amnesty International came out with a report accusing the Nigerian military of heavy-handedness in dealing with this issue.
What I want you to understand, Amnesty International allegations, they are not new things. They have been making the same series of allegations for the past 4 or thereabout years. And in 2016, February to be precise, we were the one who formally invited Amnesty from their London office to come and interface with us to trash out all these allegations, but they said they were not independent enough.
Brigadier General Sani Usman of the Nigerian Army.